Yeah,
And
he's had
some of
some
the
issues over the years.
I think it's really well acted. Like I watched it. I thought it's good for
Simon
it's not
Rex.
Simon Rex, thank you. Gina Davis and Kyle MacLachlan, who are old,
Oh yeah,
like
wow, Gina Davis.
yeah, big names back in the day. Gina
Zoe
Davis.
Kravitz, Christian Slater, Kyle MacLachlan. Yeah, wow. Okay.
One of the reasons why is like why did this person bring this to? I get great tips. People give me tips on great movies. This is one of
Oh,
them.
I would imagine. Yeah.
The reason is the kind of background. It's also directed by Zoe Kravitz. So if you know Lenny Kravitz, the
Oh, okay.
musician, his
Oh,
daughter,
she's in it too. Jesus.
she
Wow.
directed it and helped write it. And she grew up in that environment, right? So her dad is a really famous musician. Like he's around, and I think he's dated famous people. I think her mom's famous, actually. I think her mom was that woman who was in I see her face. I can't remember it. It's Angel Heart. Do you remember the movie Angel Heart?
Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet. Yeah, so her. She's.
Oh,
I would
Angel
say.
Heart, yeah. Okay.
I think it's fair to say that Zoe Kravitz is kind of Hollywood royalty. Maybe not super A+ list, but she's in that the circles. Like, I think she's very pretty. Heard Zoe Kravitz. She was in, I think, the Hunger Games. Anyway, why is this movie important?
She was sorry to interrupt. She just because you mentioned her being pretty. She was in the Batman, and she's going to be in the Batman Part 2. She looks great in the Batman. She was awesome in that, I thought, and I thought she was very attractive in that movie per se.
So why is this person first directorial? Why does she want to make a movie like this? She's got some good actors. She's got a good thing. What's going on? I think the thing is that the whole premise of the film is very rich people, privileged tech people, in a group kind of like an entourage. They always go to some island and party together. And externally, they're like hipsters and thought leaders and impressive. And so then there's vulnerable women involved. So the women who are good, the actresses who I had never seen, who I thought were good, Naomi Ackie and this couple of other girls, they're almost like in the roles of Epstein victims, in the outer side of these rich, powerful people, wanting access, wanting opportunities for just like any girl or person, really, boy or girl, man or woman, on the way up, trying to find their way through, right? So they're incentivized to go there, and then they get to the island and things get pretty wonky. They get stranger and stranger and stranger. I do have the PDFs there if you want to bring that up. That's the poster of it. So that's Channing Tatum.
So Channing Tatum is the tech billionaire.
Yeah, his name is Slater something.
Slater King?
Slater King, yes. And you see the Polaroid, so there's like memory, so the Polaroid's related to memory, and that's a lot of things in what Epstein was studying was amnesia and memory, which I'll show in the slides, and it plays into this film too. So and these women are abused. I mean, this is a total like spoiler alert, I guess. The women are abused, they're abused, but they're also given drugs to forget. And so that's kind of one of the interesting. So they don't know they've forgotten. So it's kind of like this amnesia thing that's also ties into mind control. There's always some kind of, in the like, the MK Ultra in the general Gestalt sense, there's always somebody trying to give somebody amnesia. And actually the way the TV works in the modern media is to impose a form of amnesia on the public. There's absolutely no question how they can turn issue to issue to issue and make people forget important stuff like COVID or things that have happened in the past. So I think that we may all be on a figurative island, so to speak. We may all be on Epstein Island or this island that Slater King and his buddies take these people to. And it unravels kind of slow, and it's nice. There's a lot of occult symbology in this, which makes it interesting. And kind of like gift bags, like, in the elite, like if you're really well known and you go to a place like Coachella's going on here in California right now.
Right, yeah.
People who were like people who do fashion and stuff, they give away gift bags so that they hope that these celebrities will wear their sunglasses or shirts or icons with their logos or anything like that. And it's kind of ties kind of into this film too, where they give out these gift bags, but there's something more sinister to these particular gift bags. But I actually really think this is a pretty good movie. I wouldn't call it like The Godfather or Chinatown.
I'm excited to see it. You know what? Honestly, I haven't seen it yet. Don't worry about spoiling anything though. I am going to watch it, but I don't want you to worry about spoiling it. Let's don't worry about that.
It's cleverly written. I think it's pretty well written. There's a lot of interesting references. They like talk about Fight Club, like you don't talk about stuff, first rule. So there's references to kind of modern films that we know or something, or famous lines. And also the red hibiscus there that is on her left ear. That's the woman, Naomi Aki. It has some kind of thing to do, like there's this flower elements, this forgetting scopolamine. I think we talked about that briefly in one of our earlier shows.
We did, for sure. Yeah. We absolutely did.
So that ties into this whole thing. And you'll see in the slides, like there's this, in the film, what brings the amnesia is this perfume. And then you see the similar kind of perfume literally in Epstein's pictures and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. And there's missing fingers. There's also a smiley face. So there's a reference to this kind of secret society that, I've talked about the smiley face killers. I did a 2.5-hour update last night if people want to check that out. But, this whole kind of some kind of secret group going around killing people, literally, I think.
So it sounds like this movie is just like Under the Silver Lake that we were talking about before the show. That we're gonna meet up again and talk about. It sounds like this movie is directed to and has things put in there just for people like you and me. It seems like, because we're obviously picking up on all these things. I honestly just do not think the average person, if my mom is watching it, if some of my friends are watching, I don't think they're picking up on things that you and me are picking up on, to be quite honest with you.
I think you're right. It's kind of like a revelation of the method. And I think that this kind of distills really kind of the way the Hollywood system works. Honestly, there is this whole thing of fresh meat and of like Epstein, where these people literally are treated horribly. They're abused. They're objectified. And I don't think that happens, or casting couched, I guess is a way to put it. Either figuratively or literally, that really does happen. Like I've seen it. Like I've been in LA since 2001, and I'm not even in the entertainment industry, and I hear stories and I see stories. And I mean, I've heard stories like women being like, they're from other parts of LA and they're brought into these parties. They're brought in like almost like you're bringing in like furniture or something, like
right,
dress up and come here. And then these celebrities show up. And I mean, it's like very eyes wide shut. I'm not saying they're eyes wide shut parties, but these people don't.
No, but it's very similar in some themed, in some themes, it's very similar.
No, you're 100% right. It's like that. So it's not like, some celebrity. I know names but like, for example, let's say it's, this is not true, but Leonardo DiCaprio, he's going to be at a party with his buddies playing poker. And somebody will like be an intermediary. May not be like on their name say that they're a madam, but they've met these beautiful actresses who are on the way up. And she calls them and says, "Hey, you guys want to just show up at a party?" And that these things happen. And then sometimes, it progresses to something else that's not meant to be like a long-term relationship, Those things really do happen. So, and I think that this is kind of this what happens with Epstein. The concept of a comet, right? Comet ping pong. That's actually kind of like a term in, interpersonal relationships, where you have like a relationship with somebody and then it goes away real fast. So This is what I think is happening and is portrayed by Zoe Kravitz. She wrote and directed this. So she's kind of like, I guess, an auteur to a certain extent. I don't know if she deserves that appellation, but like she's the one who, my sense is that she's seen a lot as well. I can't say I'm not
to do a movie like this, right? I mean, I don't know if this is her first movie to direct and all that. But I mean,
it is.
sometimes, even though, like you were saying, like she can be considered Hollywood royalty, even if you're high up in Hollywood or well known in Hollywood, but don't actually necessarily direct films, sometimes you only get one chance to do something, even though if you're well known for something else. So, you're going to choose a topic like this. I feel like it needs to be pretty close to your heart for some reason, or pretty big on your radar of things that you kind of pay attention to in the world and think that other people should be paying attention to. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what
I don't think you're wrong. I think she's trying to tell us something through this film. I really do. Because there's a lot of drug use and abuse and kind of really the ugliest side of like power, where you like really exert that power like it's fun. And you see that through Epstein. Like he's treating the women like furniture, disposable, taking pictures of them. There's literally, I looked at one today where it was really interesting for somebody who's not part of this thing, but like there's videos of women at a modeling agency, and it's just so cold-blooded. It's like watching a racehorse, being trotted out at a stable or something.
Yeah,
like on a rope and then put back in, like you're done.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and it had that feel, kind of is reflected in this. Like the girls don't know. They don't know what, like it unfolds itself in a really clever way, in my opinion. Like I recommend this movie. I would say 3 out of 4 stars.
Nice. Okay. But, also, another, and this is something that you've posted on a few times. I think it's a post that's gotten quite a bit of traction. I think it is Epstein. It's I believe it's Epstein at Zorro Ranch with a victim, possibly a Brazilian victim. And he's holding her up almost like a trophy or something, like a trophy kill, right? Yes. Like a picture like that just screams, like a picture's worth 1,000 words. That just kind of screams all the words.
That was one of my most incredible posts. It had like 11 million views, and it really tore up Brazil. Like you could tell that it went to like the people who have Twitter in Brazil, because you could just see all the Portuguese responses. And the reason that is because when he was holding her up like a trophy, she had some thing on her shirt in Brazilian Portuguese. Like there's very slight variances, just like there is in English.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a kid's show. So it had more. So if you're from Portuguese, it would be like seeing it like Jim will Fix It or something, like Jimmy Savile's kid show. I'm trying to think of a kid show today, like maybe SpongeBob
or Dora the Explorer or something.
Yeah, precisely. So that makes it even more creepy. So it's like,
for
this
sure.
is a child. Yeah, this is a teen or a child wearing, fun comic book type stuff. And that's the way I think that the Americans who don't know that language didn't get that impact. That whereas like, and there's a lot, and what it was interesting too, because it was a learning experience for me. It showed how big the trafficking was, but there is a real Brazilian connection to Epstein. So it's really a global trafficking ring, and some of the kids came from Brazil, and you can see it in the Epstein files. Like I got a Brazilian 18, like this whole thing of like, they don't even mention the name. That's the whole thing. Like this whole commodification or objectification. It's not like I've had this wonderful girl, she loves to play piano. It's just Brazil 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. This is all you need to know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's reflected in this Blink Twice. So I think that I think she picked up on themes that are similar to this kind of like you could look at it through a class lens or power lens or both, of like, okay, this is my power and you are playthings for me. That's what I'm enjoying. And that's kind of because that's the way it changes. Because at the intro, it's like, hey, you're my friend, I can help you out. It's this whole thing of the grooming that happens, that Epstein and Maxwell did in their whole circle. And I think it's reflected in Blink Twice. And it's before it came, it was released before these whole EFTA, the Epstein ETFA, the Epstein Transparency Act came out. Epstein Files Transparency Act, So it's interesting. The timing is really, I mean, for this movie to come out, it should have come out now. Like, it would have been better if it was released in 2026. But people should go back and watch it. There's a lot of interesting things in here. A lot of color themes. So blue, yellow, red, repeated through here. And I think it's all important. They're all kind of keyed into each other. There's a lot of this forgetting, amnesia type stuff. And the compartmentalization and isolation in an island. So they're brought away from all their friends and contacts and everything like that. Like, it's deliberate, right? Like, that's what Epstein did, is got them, like, this Brazilian girl away from her parents or her friends or whatever. They lose time, like they lose contact of time and space. So there's like a deliberate thing. Like, we don't know the time and space. Yeah, that's it right there. That was just more pics, but like,
this is just this isn't the original post I was talking about, but yeah, this is.
This is the same girl, but if you can go, I think
right, yeah,
Epstein's hand, I think, but that shirt that's the tell. It's some kind of like comic book shirt. These are the if you look, like, I've looked through enough of the Epstein files, and this kind of, look at the way he drags around and controls her. Clearly a young child. Like, this person.
Does she have a knife in her hand? Oh no, it's a phone. Sorry, it's a flip phone. My mistake.
It's a flip phone, but that is a 13, 14-year-old girl, in my opinion. Like, that's
look at how small she is. Yeah.
She's tiny.
Look at her legs. Yeah, she's
not developed.
Small. No.
And Epstein isn't that big of a guy, and I think, and there's Brunel too with him, another trafficker.
Yeah,
well, that's the shirt I was talking about. If you scroll in, it's some kind of kids show. Yeah.
Wow.
Which makes it, and there's the Zorro Ranch with the pitchfork at the end. There's Brunel with her.
It's weird because, like, you see some photos like this, and they're all smiling, and it's so weird. Like, it must be so uncomfortable and so awkward, and
those are just the files that were released and unredacted. Yeah. Like, there's terabytes of stuff that hasn't been released. It's a huge cover-up. And it's even, the government has admitted it. Blanche, under Trump, has admitted that there's like 2.3 million files that weren't released because they were involved in death, torture, and child porn. Like, what's going on? So, and then you can have the head of the FBI say, we don't have any evidence to prosecute. These two things do not match, right? Like, he's literally talking about crime after crime after crime on 2.3 million files. And then Patel says there's nothing in the files. I can find crime in the files. It's very obvious. Like, this girl should be investigated. What's she doing in the United States? What's her name? And is she underage? Is she being trafficked across state lines or federal lines? This one case should trigger a investigation, right? Just this girl that you showed. She's clearly not over 18, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I don't think she's 18 or older. That's why it tore up freaking Brazil. And there's a lot of Brazilian stuff, like I said earlier. It's pretty wild. So you could say, and one of the interesting things, like you mentioned Zorro Ranch, it's almost like an island. I don't know if people know the design of Zorro and where it is, but It's literally like a small circle of property owned on a huge ranch owned by somebody else. So literally you have to drive like 5 miles in to get to this barren mansion in the middle of nowhere. It's not close to anything. I mean, it's south of Santa Fe and east of Albuquerque, but like, it's not in a residential area. It's a very strange, eerie place. And there's like, the talk about that is like farm animals, incinerators, horrible stuff, downstairs pools, naked pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey Epstein was going to put a picture of the slaughter of the innocents in there. I don't know if it ever happened, but a 9x9 picture. Like, it's a hell ranch. So it's like an island. It's like an island in the desert in a way. I don't think that's too much of a stretch.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because unless you have, just like the island, unless you have a boat or something to get you out of there, unless you have a car, like you might not make it out, right? If you try to leave, depending on when you leave, what the weather's like, where you're going, how far you can get. Yeah, it's like an island. Absolutely.
There was Sarah Ransom as one of the victims. Like, victims are still coming out of the woodwork, but Sarah Ransom, she said people would try to swim off the little St. James Island. Like, she tried to swim off.
Right,
it's not funny.
right.
Like, that's how crazy. And there's this one video I posted about them trying to take care of deer. It's not a big island, Little St. James. The reason it's called Little St. James is it's a little kind of smaller island next to St. James, the bigger one. And there's like videos and conversations in the files of them trying to get deer off the island. And then you go and look online. It's like, are there any deer on Little St. James? And it says, no, it's only just small animals. So are they using code words for things, you know? Are deer something else? Are they jumpers? You know, what's going on? Like, it's a barren island. There's not even anything above a shrub. You can walk the Little St. James. So there's all kinds of code words. We could do another show on code words. And,
Right,
no, I'm serious. I've got a file of about 100 different code words.
Oh, okay.
There's literally one where there's like it insinuates they're hunting black people at night. They're doing hunting parties at night, snipe hunts for moon crickets. Like, this word moon cricket it's not a modern kind of racist term. It's something from the 50s or 60s, but it's a very not nice thing for black people.
So these code words, it's not just like related to one area. You've got like all sorts of different themes. And
codes all over the place. Nice. Jerky,
okay,
cream cheese, grape soda.
So let's
pizza. I mean, some of the codes overlap with the whole Pizzagate, right? Pizza and sauce and all this other stuff. These guys are dark, man. They're very dirty. And shrimp. Like, I think what I've heard of shrimp is like a code word for a girl like that. That's the little girl that you showed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Like, I think they mean it as like a preteen kid or something, like prepubescent or young girl, like, it's clearly. So anyway, it's just like there's the Epstein files, what they released, I don't think they knew how bad it was. Like, the cover up wasn't complete, because you can put stuff together. They didn't. The guys who were probably doing the redacting, I don't know if you know this, but there's like 1,000 people redacting stuff. Like, it was a huge, like, almost like a football side. Yeah, this is all verified in other documents. Yeah.
There's documents about the redaction process.
Correct.
Oh,
like, yeah. There's documents. There's documents, and there's actual like articles about how they were involved in massive redactions with overtime, and millions of dollars were spent to block everything out. So it's not like in your mind you might think, oh, there's 3 guys in a meeting room at a law firm. No, there's thousands. There's like hundreds of people, team redacting documents after documents.
That makes the mistakes that much more interesting. Then
it sure does.
Wow.
Some things slipped through. Like, I think that some people are like, F this, I'm just going to let it slide, you know?
Sounds
do a lousy job.
Kind of what I was thinking. Maybe some people either independently or, you know, maybe had friends working together there that just thought, you know what, let's fucking, you know, I think I'm going to let a few things in. Yeah, you know what, me too. Let's, you know, this is bullshit.
Because their bosses, they don't have the time to look over 1.3 million files overall. They have to trust it. And so the underlings are like, yep, let's just slide this one through. Let's slide. Because some of the ones they slid through are freaking damning. Because there's like one of the cover-up files that they slid through was one from March of 2025, right after Trump comes into office.
Okay.
January 20th. And right there at the very beginning, this is before the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which is October, November, before the Democrats got on, the redactions were already starting. So they didn't tell the public they were redacting these things. So, you know, if you remember, you have to go back a year ago, but Bondi's like, I got them on my desk. And that even itself is a lie. That is even a deception. It's obvious. See, you can see through the deceptions that they're giving to the public, because her saying these files are on her desk, there's no effing way. There's terabytes of files. It's literally like a mountain of files. There's no way 1.3 million documents are on her desk.
Yeah.
not in a literal sense. So when she's saying that, what she's impressing upon the listener is there's just a few files here in a list. And they
I have
wanted
a folder here with some papers in it.
exactly, and they wanted to reinforce this whole Epstein list. Show me the list. The list is important, but the public and even the government, even the dummies in the Congress didn't get this either. They thought the list was the important thing. No. It's all the communications and background and the emails.
Because you got to connect these names. You got to connect them to how they fit into this puzzle. You can't just say, "Oh, look at all these fucking names." I mean, some of these people are innocent in the sense that maybe they did absolutely nothing wrong, and maybe they didn't even associate with Epstein. And some of them are innocent in the sense that, okay, even though they knew he was a sleazebag or something, they didn't actually do anything. They just associated with him or did business with him in legal ways. So you got to know what you're dealing with. You can't just throw a blanket over this case and say that you want everyone punished. You got to know what the hell's going on.
Right, but it's all this massive cover up. So the people involved are covering up. The government's covering up. So they're all lying. One of the things that the Epstein files showed is that almost everybody who's involved or associated with Epstein was lying about their association with him. They're all distancing themselves. Lutnick and Kushner and all these other people. They're all know him, but the Congress didn't know a lot of this stuff, and now they know. So at least they got the files out so people could take a look. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is only one page. It's really poorly written. It just shows how dysfunctional the Congress is. Because what they should have said is they should have released the documents to the public and to Congress, and then had some kind of data grinding or AI that would allow people to go through with a proper search function and show what pictures are and correlate. Because the way that they even released them was a cover up, because you can tinker around on justice.gov and it'll take you forever. But what happened is the smart people took it all off the internet and then uploaded it on their sites. But it's just a massive, it's so bad. They're trafficking thousands and thousands of kids. And the whole I mean, everything they told to the public was fake. It was like, oh, I've got them on my desk. We're going to release them. We're transparent. If you remember the March 2025 white binder transparency, it's all fake.
Phase one.
Everything they said was fake. It was just Jeff. He liked teen girls. No, there are 5-year-old kids, 7-year-old kids, infants missing. Talk about baby rape. I mean, it's off the charts. It's totally evil. Like, even that you're joking. I mean, it can't be seen as a joke. It's like inside jokes. It's everything they said was lies. And the racism and the goyim and all this stuff.
Another connection to Pizzagate, I'd say, because what we learned from that, if you paid enough attention and dug deep enough with people like James Alefantis and Podesta and people that they frequented with, just their social media, photos, posts, friends and their posts, all relating to very similar things, all very similar themes. And if you're just trying to say it's a joke, it's like that's like a pretty long running joke in one topic, in one area, about the abuse or sexualization of children, and you're all adults, like you're all running with that. Like, I don't know about that. I don't like at some point it's not a joke, right?
There's like pictures of kids taped down.
Yes, that's one.
Haitian sauce. Remember Haitian sauce?
Haitian sauce, yeah.
And remember, people forget sometimes they focus on Comet Ping Pong, which is good. And I mentioned Comet earlier, but like the Comet Ping Pong came out of the Podesta emails, if you remember. It was the Podesta emails that got released by WikiLeaks, and that's why they had to go after Julian Assange, right? Because they're pissed about that. Because it showed the inside depravity of these people, like the total wickedness and degeneracy and evil. And but it was the Podesta emails, and there's similar things about those emails that correlate to the Epstein emails. Like, my kids are coming to the Lozado. I reposted the famous Lozado, or infamous email where she's like, I got an 8-year-old kid, a 10-year-old kid, and a 12-year-old kid, and they're going to be in the hot tub. Like, who the freaking hell says that at a party?
Like,
I got to show you this video. I found it today. This will like make you sick.
Okay, cool.
Because it's nobody's really seen this. To my knowledge, they haven't put this video out in the public, but it's literally of like a teen girl, and this is one that they kind of let slip through.
Was this this was in the Epstein files?
100%. I'll give you the EFT number here in a sec. Just give me a sec. I gotta find it. But it's basically at a party. Oh, here's a good one. This is kind of like when I was talking to you about the kind of flesh on display. Look at this one. This is it. I mean, it's redacted, but I think it's a huge tell. Like, this is how these people viewed their victims. Can you pull that up?
Interesting.
And you can tell it's a modeling or talent agency because
look in the background. You can see all those photos and shelves of photos that are and there's things written under the name. It's not that doesn't look normal. Look at those photos though. They don't look like normal modeling photos. Those look like as if maybe they took them themselves almost. And they have these sketchy post-it notes with these details written on them. That's weird.
Wow.
So do you?
But have you ever seen a horse?
Jordan,
have you ever seen a horse brought out of a stable at like a thoroughbred racing? It's like that.
Yeah, it is.
There's a bunch of rich people just watching.
Just okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
This is another one. Like, you talk about things being slipped through. Look at this one. This is one I found today. Like, these are kids, man. Like, people who aren't outraged by this are brain dead. You can just tell by the body. There's thousands of videos like this.
Oh my God.
She's not fully grown.
She's probably what?
12, 11, 13?
I was going to say, yeah. I was going to say not much older than 10, I think. And look how
they do. This is the same thing. Like, there's videos of Epstein just having girls dance and walk forward and backward all the time. Like, it's so freaking creepy.
I feel like these are being taken and being sent to someone to say, this is what.
This is our wares, right?
Yeah.
So, like, this is what Epstein got from somebody. What if there's like 500 people on a list or something? Like, we don't know. Like, what if there's even 100 dudes? Like, okay. We got that's the way they were trafficked. That's the way it comes across in the emails. Is like, I got a Brazilian who's 10. I got a blah, blah, blah.
Because these people, I mean, obviously they have their preferences, right? So I would imagine that they have these preferences, and when they're partaking in this trafficking and these illegal acts, they want to do it with the person of their preference, obviously, right? So that's, there's all this different identifiers, these 1-word or 2-word identifiers. It's just crazy.
Here's another one. Jeff, there's tons of pictures of him getting his foot massages or foot massage. And this is one. They actually show the girl's face. It's not redacted.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You almost never see the girl's face. Another teen girl, it looks like.
Wait, sorry, it's kind of, is it freezing? Oh, there we go. Oh my God, yeah. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's see if I can find this. Here's one that I found that's interesting is there's a lot of weird things about cages and like stuff like that. And here's Jeff with a bird cage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That reminds me of those.
Watch this.
The Rothschild parties. the birdcage costume.
Can you bring that up? Oh, I guess I didn't do it. Oh,
I don't see it.
Video's a bit too short, is what it says. Interesting.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bring this up. Trying to find this one that I had of the kid. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, this is it. Okay, this is the one I originally wanted to show you. This is the one that the redaction shows everything. This is at a party. If you go back to the beginning, this guy in the center is a waiter doing bottle service. So if you ever go to like a fancy higher end club, they're trying to sell you like a bottle of Dom or some high end vodka for $250. That's what he's doing right there at the beginning. It's a real status thing too. See how big that bottle is?
Yeah.
Kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
So these are all adults, right? It's either on an island or somewhere. And they're all partying it up. And this is some kid here. There's some kind of 15-year-old kid
listening to the Stones. Oh,
that's redacted, but you can tell if you kind of watch this.
Look at her shoulder. How small those arms are. Yeah.
Same colors as the temple, Jordan. Blue and white.
Oh shit. Oh.
See that?
Oh.
Yeah, crazy.
What's that? What? Yes or no? 11 a.m.
And they redacted the perp here too. Whoever this guy is, he got redacted.
I was going to say
they're redacting the perps.
Yeah. I was going to say that I don't think that's a girl or a victim.
No, that's a perp. But it's like this. If you look at the old pictures of Giuffre, she went to Naomi Campbell's birthday party in Paris.
Yep.
It's just like this. Like she's clearly out of place. Like she's a 15-year-old girl with adults, and Epstein and Maxwell and Campbell, who knows a lot more. They should subpoena her. But then this little kid is here. Look at this. You can just tell it's another teen. Like you can kind of see a little like right there. You can just see by the body size that this is a teenage. This is a underage kid. Come on.
Look at how skinny those arms are. And I know models might have skinny arms, but like the rest of her body is just so. Yeah, she's so small. Wow.
So they got away with a lot. I mean, my tax dollars are not at work by not investigating this stuff because I'm sure it's going on. I'm sure that some people have speculated that the reason why the originals aren't out is because they're keeping them because like people are looking through them, blackmailing other people in Congress and stuff.
Oh, fuck. Right?
So doesn't that make sense? Is to reuse it? Like if you're a real
reuse it, of course.
You've got the Epstein files. Blanche is your guy. You've got this operator who's on your side in there looking through and redacting stuff too and keeping notes. Oh, there's Lindsey Graham. Oh, there's Swalwell. Oh, we've got, think about it. Like if you think on that level, you've got all the stuff's already aggregated for you. It makes a lot of sense when you look at like the war against Iran and how there's no pushback from Congress on an illegal war. Like
I know.
Right? Doesn't it make sense that they're either blackmailed or bribed or something?
They are being silenced on that front. Yeah.
And then like Swalwell's a perfect example. I don't know if you followed that guy, but like
a little bit.
He's going down because there's videos of him, but apparently he had covered a lot of stuff in NDAs and there's huge payouts. Like there was I think it was Nancy Grace was trying to expose how much of your American tax dollars are being covered for sexual harassment payouts, and Congress voted against it. They didn't want to release it.
Yeah, like
so
it just doesn't like it's unbelievable when you see things that should pass with no impotence, and it's like either a close vote or a loss, and it's like it's just brain shattering. It's brain shattering.
It's corrupt. It's so corrupt, guys. And these files are evidence of how corrupt and the cover up is. Like all these people are going to go to hell, like Bondi, Blanche, Patel. And they're going to be exposed by this new information that comes out. Like it's already coming out. Like everybody still talks about it on the grapevine about Epstein. Like even after, like the files were released January 30th. It's almost been 2.5 months. So, and there's still like Melania, this whole Melania thing where she rolled out and gave an impromptu speech without anybody around her.
Something could be dropping any day now based on that, right? You never know. I'm surprised it hasn't dropped yet, but it could be dropping any day now still.
She's asking for a full investigation by Congress without her husband saying anything. And I mean, that may be the predicate for her, like Trump drop kicking Trump, you know, like I'm done with this bum. Like he's a total bum. So he's lied about everything, man. He's just a liar.
Yeah. If that's the case, you'd think he would be worried because she's been so loyal to him for so long. And now
she has all the inside information too. She probably knows a lot. She actually mentioned an email in the file. She didn't show it, but she was mentioning an email between her and Ghislaine Maxwell from 2002.
The Sweet Pea one?
I think that was it or something. But it seems like they're very close. Like it's not.
It seems that way in the email. Like it's not just her dropping her a line to see how she is. Like Melania is trying to say it is.
Yeah, I think so. They always distance themselves. It's not like a formal thing. It's informal, friendly, in my opinion. So,
yeah, and then there's this whole Amanda Ungaro thing. Have you been paying attention? Right. So, you know, who knows what's going to come out of that?
Here's another Brazilian connection too, right?
Yes, like right. There you go. There you go.
So it's like the thing is unraveling. That people didn't know all of the, you know, places that were going on. A lot of it's like, oh, they're just trafficking people in the U.S. It was international, man.
No,
picking up kids wherever they could find them, people. And I think she started when she was 18. Like that was when she was brought into the network as a very early age.
Very early, same age as maybe a year or two younger than Melania. Yeah.
And all the symbols are like here that are consistent with like the pedophile symbology, because I found one here with a victim and pedophile. This is probably a young kid too, but like I did a show recently about the whole pedo bear. Like a teddy bear is a symbol of pedophilia.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Shining.
Shining, Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut.
Dabbles with it. They're in the modern, you know, zeitgeist to these. The pedos. That's like a symbolic sign or symbol. Oh, this is like a victim somewhere in there. Like
those are knees coming up, right? Leaves. Yeah. So this is probably a sex.
It's redacted. There's a lot of these. He kept freaking almost like encyclopedic records of all of his like stuff. He didn't seem to throw any of it out. So he was collecting, like he was a huge collector of abuse material. Like that was his thing.
Some sort of like a hoarder almost in that
hoarder regard. Yeah, like he didn't like discard it or whatever. Like it's still somewhere, and all like I said, all the stuff isn't released.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things I found today is his passport had that he was a sex offender on it. Let's see if I can. Yeah, he had to disclose that he was a sex offender. This is it. EFTA 0M. Go back there and just hit pause. You want to read that?
Oh my God. The bearer was convicted of a sex offense against a minor and is a covered sex offender pursuant to 22 United States Code Section 212 BCC JC 1J. Wow. Okay. So
does that have his name on the very bottom? I can't see that on there. It just says
endorsements, mentions, specialties, annotations. It's a
I'm pretty sure it's him because there's other pictures of him with his passport. It's out of his files, so
Yeah. Crazy, man.
There's a lot of stuff there, man. I mean, it's just we barely cover. We could do another show on Blink Twice because we barely even covered it. But like, it's just there's just so much information that's damning on so many different people. These guys are just lying to the public like freaking like rugs, man. They're all in on it and they're all lying.
Well, I know you got to get going, so I'll watch the movie and I'll watch Under the Silver Lake, and then maybe if you have the time, we can do an episode. We can do both.
Sure, whatever. Just do a 2-hour spectacular.
Yeah, whatever we want to do. So it's so good to see you, man. Thank you for your time.
Good to see you too.
Before you go, just let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, William Ramsey Investigates podcast. Website is William Ramsey Investigates. You can find my books on Amazon. And I posted a lot on X, so I'm posting. You can just scroll back through all of my. I haven't been censored on X, which is a shocker. You can go back.
Yeah, you can do a lot of good stuff on X.
You can put January 30th and just start scrolling through all the stuff I've researched because I've put it out there. I've had 50 million impressions since January 30th.
Good for you.
That's a lot. Like I'm usually not even close to that. So, and one of the biggest ones was these Brazil ones.
Yeah,
pics of Jeff with other victims and stuff. So there's a lot of information on there. Anyway, great to talk with you. I got to run. Peace.
Good to see you. Keep up the great work. I'll be in touch soon, man.
See ya.
All right. Bye, William. All right, guys. Just a short one for you today, but it's always nice to have William in the house. We will bring him back as soon as we can. Let's see, what do we got? Tomorrow we got Ryan Dawson, and then we have Courtney Turner coming up. We have Austin Wade Picard coming up, JJ Vance. A lot of good shows. We'll get William back. We're going to get Brad Binkley back. And I have a few other interesting guests coming. Bart Sabrell's going to be coming on, the Moon Man. And I still have a few other shows to book for the end of the month. I'll be doing that tonight. And so check out Blink Twice and make sure to watch Under the Silver Lake because that looks like a fucking intense movie. A lot of interesting stuff. And we're going to be covering that soon with William Ramsey. So, make sure to please also subscribe to the Divulgence Podcast on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Please show the support. Much appreciated. Also, check out the Scott Horton Academy. If you want a discount, go to scotthortonacademy.com. I'll talk a bit more about the Academy next show, perhaps. And I think that's about it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. All the best, and we'll see you tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there.